I am just getting started here. It's been a week, and of course, that means I've forgotten everything. And it looks like chat's not working. Why is chat not working, of all things? Seems weird. So, what's been going on? Why haven't I been streaming? Do you guys have bad memories? I have like no. I know I was busy. I was busy. I wish I could remember why I wasn't streaming. I think I was away. God, it's like I didn't exist yesterday. Um anyway, today I think we're going to be doing some Phoenix, really basic Phoenix stuff. It won't really be my usual thing because I want to try to write like documentation while I'm actually learning stuff. And then maybe like next pass I'll do tutorials online after I kind of learn it, but you know how like in my previous videos sometimes I just like jot notes into a gist, but I feel like it's a little bit harder to come back to that, and because like you just saw my memory so bad that like I basically want to have better notes to myself, so I want to write it out more. And eventually I kind of want to just get used to writing more so that I can like maybe write a technical book one day. But for now, that's like later. For now, it's just like tutorials and documentation. So I have a conference um pretty soon, next month, like November 5th or so. It's the Code Beam EU in Berlin, and I want in my talk to use nerves with Elixir and have some of my presentation pages actually be rendered from Phoenix Live View, plus like add like a retro kind of look to it. So I know Elixir, but I don't know Phoenix or Live View. So I think I've tried to learn this once before, but it was just like a short session. I never really got far. But so far, I've already looked at like how to install it, how to um, how to get it up and running, which isn't much, I know. But now I'm ready to start learning it. So that'll be something we'll do some of today. Oh, and then the Erlang stuff I got to get back to. Like, haven't forgotten that. I just need to. I think like a lot of the reasons why I wasn't streaming was because work was getting really, really intense, and I really needed to just work. I think it was something like that. And probably just like lots of meetings in the afternoon, which means like streaming is really hard. Today I do have choir, so I'll be going to that. It's 2 p.m., so I have some time before I have to get ready for it. Yeah, I feel like I'm behind on everything. I'm just trying to catch up with life. The choir stuff, I have songs, we have a concert coming up. It's not like religious songs. It's like, I don't know, it's like a Japanese choir, so we sing a lot of. What are we learning right now? We're just learning lots of random stuff, and then we have a Christmas concert. And I just don't know. I haven't been keeping up, so I'm just behind. I got to catch up. All right, so let's get to Phoenix and I can show you the little bit that I've done so far. All right, so here's our setup. Let's let's get set up here. So I've been working out of Phoenix Docs here, and I've uploaded this into a GitHub repository. So if you're curious, you should be able to go there. Um, where do I get to see my repositories? You'd think I would like no GitHub. There we go. Phoenix Docs. So yeah, Elixir Phoenix underscore docs, and you can see that it's all there. And when you check it out, if you install it, I think this is running. This is the Mist server. Then on port 3000, this should load. Here we go. This is my documentation. And you can kind of see here. You can see here that it says this is mostly for future me. When I do something else, I want to come back to Phoenix in Live View, I'll forget everything. So these are notes to myself. And I basically have well, really one page so far. I have my Nix set up, and for when I tried to set it up following the Phoenix instructions, I ran into a problem with Tailwind CSS. I don't really know CSS or what Tailwind really is, but it tries to run this Tailwind server or something, or maybe just like executable, and it fails because Nix doesn't support dynamic linking. Um, and you can fix it the right way, but here's the lazy way to do it. You just use the Nix LD to dynamically link. And then I found that I had to install iNotify tools and Watchman to make it like not complain about things. So I added that to my config in Nix. And then this is mostly from the other from the Phoenix website. You install this. You're assuming you have Elixir and Erlang installed. I'm kind of not trying to go over that. Then you run mix archive install hex Phoenix new, and now that'll let you create Phoenix applications with mix. And then you do mix Phoenix new, the app name. And then I never use Postgres to start, like maybe like when I'm trying to scale it later. But for development, I like SQLite just because it's like you don't have to set up another server. There's no like permission stuff. It's just a file. So I most always go for SQLite. Um, and then after that, you run deps.get as usual, ecto create to create the database with ecto. If you don't know these things, it's just Elixir sort of stuff. And then this will start the server, or if you want to start the server in REPL, it's like this. So not too much, but I wrote that much yesterday. And now I am looking at who's messaging me? I'll turn that off. Um, Now I want to, let me go to the Phoenix, Elixir Phoenix maybe. Yeah, these aren't, maybe Brave has a better answer. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, I think so. Here we go. So here we are creating. So that was all from installation following this stuff. And then up and running following this stuff, noting the kind of problems I had. And really, like when I make notes to myself, it's more understanding my setup and the kind of things that I want to do, like that SQLite sort of stuff. Like there's a lot of things where if you just know what you want to do, the documentation could be a lot shorter for you. So yeah. I think now that kind of covered basically the introduction. And in case you didn't know, Phoenix is a web development framework in Elixir. And I'm particularly interested in LiveView, which is basically, let's see if they have it under glossary, with server rendered HTML. HTML content in both regular and real-time applications. Not sure what that part is, but like, looks like there's a template engine, and LiveView is what I'm interested in. Is like most of the stuff happens on the server side, so you just write the code mostly in one place. So I'm here now. And I don't think I want to copy all of the directories here into my documentation. Where are we? So what's where? Where's what? We know assets have like, I guess I'll bring it up as I probably care about them. But like config, I know I'll care about. This is where config.config.exs is, and that we definitely need to configure that. So maybe we just make this like config.config.exs, and we have config. Well, maybe we don't need this, right? Because then we have runtime.exs, and we have dev.exs, and we have prod.exs. All of these matter a lot. We have deps, I don't really care about that. And then we have lib. This is where all our source code goes. And then priv is where we have our database. And then we have a test directory. Okay, I think we don't even care about that. We'll just make it short. There are more directories than this, but instead of listing them all, here are the ones I usually care about. So under the lib, we also have, so maybe we should put down lib/app name. Mostly empty. You will only find 3 files. Right. So maybe we do like source code, and we say that under lib we have key files, application.ex. That one's not surprising. Mailer.ex, I have no idea what that does, but repo is an ecto thing for our database. Yeah, that defines the application. That's because at the end of the day, our Phoenix apps are just Elixir apps. Hello application module defines which services are part of our application. Maybe we should take a look at it. I've done a create hello. So in here, we should have, it's going to have a lot of extra files here, right? lib/hello/application. So here looks like this is all default stuff. These are the children. It starts telemetry, the repo for Ecto, migrator, DNS cluster, PubSub, and some endpoint. PubSub system, application endpoint, which serves HTTP requests. That's what this guy must be. Mailer holds hello mailer module, which defines the main interface to deliver emails. All right, so that's not super important for us, right? In the same, maybe we should call it swoosh. We have a repo. Here we go, this repo, and that's it for now. The repo is bare at the moment. Hello web directory holds the web-related parts of our application. So that other part was the business logic, they called it, I think. What an ugly business domain. I hate writing out business logic. I'll just say core logic, not web. How's this look? Oh, that's ugly. I should probably not use lists for this stuff. I think I should do what they do here. Well, we'll keep it like this for now and we'll change it later. All right, so we have our source code here. I can never remember these kind of things. Now we have hello web. It's like web stuff. All the web stuff is under lib app name underscore web. There are three main. Oh, is it three main? 1, 2, and then I guess we have a bunch of stuff. Let's see. All of the files which are currently in the controllers and components directories are there to create welcome to Phoenix page we saw in the up and running. By looking at controller and components directory, we can see Phoenix provides features for handling layouts, HTML, and error pages out of the box. So controllers, components. So components are layout, controllers, I guess like control error pages and stuff like that. Besides the directories mentioned, libhelloweb has 4 files at its root. The endpoint.ex, which is the entry point for HTTP requests. Once the browser accesses localhost 4000, the endpoint starts processing the data, eventually leading to the router, which is defined in libhellowebrouter.ex. The router defines the rules to dispatch requests to controllers. So it seems like we should say it looks a little bit like lib app name web slash endpoint.ex. This is get handles incoming request, right? That's what it is. Leading to the router. And then this goes down to, how do you make like a down arrow? Like that? This goes down to lib app name web slash router.ex. And router rules to dispatch to controller. Dispatches to controller. And then the controller is the stuff under the that directory. Controllers. That looks kind of janky. Which calls a view module to render HTML pages. What's a view module? Is that the components? They called it view module to render HTML pages. So we'll fill out what is this when we know more. Through telemetry, Phoenix is able to collect metrics and send monitoring events to your application. The lib hello web telemetry.ex file defines the supervisor responsible for managing the telemetry process. You can find more information on this topic in the telemetry guide. Let's ignore that for now. Finally, there is a lib hello web get text.ex file which provides internationalization through getText. If you're not worried about internationalization, you can safely skip this file and its content. Okay, let's skip it for now. We'll get back to all of that later. The assets directory contains source files related to the front-end assets such as JavaScript and CSS, which is managed by the ESBuild Elixir package. I guess ESBuild is like ECMAScript? What is it though? Other static assets are placed in priv static. All right, we'll have to worry about all of this later. Everything in priv static is served by plug static plug configured in lib hello world endpoint.ex. When running in dev mode, Phoenix watches for any changes you make in the assets directory and then takes care of updating your front end application in your browser as you work. Note that when you first create your Phoenix app using Phoenix New, it is possible to specify options that will affect the presence and layout of the assets directory. Right. Okay. I'm so tired today. Should I have another coffee already? Or should I take my ADHD meds? Phoenix ships with Tailwind CSS framework, providing a base setup for projects. You may move to any CSS framework of your choice. It's under asset management. Okay, so we're fine. I think I'm happy with this basic stuff. So now we're going to learn about request lifecycle. Um, we're going to add 2 new pages to our Phoenix project and comment on how the pieces fit together along the way. Let's get on with our first new Phoenix page, adding a new page. So when I go here on 4000, oops, I'm not running it. Let's look at our thing here and see how to run it. I think it's just IXX minus S mix Phoenix server. So we run it here. IX minus S mix Phoenix dot server. There it is. It's running. It should be localhost 4000. And here's our Phoenix application. I bet this would look different if my screen was bigger. When your browser accesses localhost 4000, it sends an HTTP request to whatever service is running on that address. In our case, it's the Phoenix app. It's made of a verb and path. For example, the following browser request translates into get slash hello, get slash hello world, get slash hello slash world. There are other HTTP verbs. For example, submitting a form typically uses the post verb. Web applications, yeah, so we know most of this, right? In Phoenix, this mapping is done by the router. For example, we may map articles to a portion of our application that shows all articles. So the router handles all these slash path things. The router maps unique HTTP verb path pairs to controller action pairs that will handle them. Controllers in Phoenix are simply Elixir modules. Actions are functions that are defined within these controllers. Should we document some of this? Route's basically a tuple of HTTP verb, comma, path, right? Where HTTP verb is a bit like get or post, and path is something like slash some path. All right. That's a route. But it's like a mapping, right? What is it mapping to? A controller and an action. Maybe we move this. All right, I think I got that down. Um, right. It maps unique verb path pairs to controller action pairs. Actions or functions are defined within these controllers. Hey, Pusnada. Po is nada. I am so tired. How are you doing today? We have to get ready for my conference talk, so I gotta learn some Phoenix Live View because I want to use that for the presentation. All right. um, so we need to create the page route for a new page. Let's open up hello web router.ex. Okay, so what is a route? So we learned that route is in here, right? Maybe we should do that. Routes are in router.ex. So let's open up oh, we got to open up router.ex here. Okay. For a brand new application, it looks like this. Yep, looks very similar to that. For now, we'll ignore the pipelines and the use of scope here and just focus on adding a route. We will discuss those in routing guide. Let's add a new route to the router that maps get request for slash hello to the index action of a soon to be created hello web hello controller inside the slash scope. So isn't this it? Hello web do. This goes to the page controller. Home. But we're going to create a hello controller. So under here, I guess we do get slash hello controller index. So now we've made a new route that maps probably get or something. Remember, we have to have the path and action, so I'm guessing I don't really know where the action is here. Oh, it says here, get. So the action is get. Here's the path, and we're going to map it to the module, right? The controller, and the function, the action, which will be index, I think. Um, Controllers are Elixir modules, and actions are Elixir functions defined in them. The purpose of actions is to gather the data and perform the task needed for rendering. Our route specifies that we need a hello web hello controller module with an index2 function. Great. So it is a function. To make the index action happen, let's create a new lib hello web controllers hello controller. So here, notice we didn't say hello controller, it just probably assumes that's where it is. Hello web controllers hello controller dot ex. And then in here, we're going to make the module. I'm not sure what this is doing exactly, but this probably says we have a generic controller. We have a controller for Hello Web, our application. Oh my god, I think I would have to make more coffee. So that's right. I didn't sleep well last night at all. It was terrible. We have a cat that we're watching, so like I think that just makes me really really tired because I was staying up like worried last night that like the cat wasn't doing well or got hurt, so like I just kept staying up. Okay, so we have a new controller that we're creating. Looks like this is what it looks like. The function name matches index. Um, Render connection index. All right, maybe we can put something like this in the other documentation too. What is a router? Edit. New routes. Um, Assuming um, hello controller. Assuming a controller called hello controller and an action called index, your controller module would look something would look something like this. Index above is the action, is the function for the action. All right. All controller actions take two arguments. The first is con, a struct with which holds a ton of data about the request. The second is params, which are the request parameters. Here we are not using params and we avoid compiler warnings by prefixing it with underscore. So connection has info about the request, and params has information about the request parameters. Example in the URL. I'm passing out. So how does this look so far? Looks like this guy crashed. Okay, what is a route? We have this. This looks okay. The core is the render function. It gets the index to render the index template. It's funny, I didn't think of this as a template. The modules responsible for rendering are called views. By default, Phoenix views are named after the controller, hello controller, and the format, HTML in this case. So Phoenix is expecting a hello web, hello HTML module to exist and define an index1 function. Oh, I see. So we have another thing called a view. That's what we had here, right? Yeah, what is a view? And here we just learned that a view will basically look like, oh no, I don't need this. This will look like lib, what they say, app name, under the web, and it will have hello web. So this is hello web controllers hello underscore controller. I see. It's still under controllers then, right? It's just called app name hello, right? HTML. Example lib hello web controllers hello HTML .ex. I'm surprised that this doesn't need hello web controllers .hello HTML. All right, let's just try to create it. So this is lib hello web controllers hello HTML hello underscore HTML dot ex. And then we create the module. To add emphasis to this view, we can define them as function components in the module or in separate files. Let's start by defining a function component. So we needed to define this index, right? So we do def index and assigns. I'm not sure what assigns is. Do end. And then in here we have a sigil. We defined a function that receives assigns as an argument and use the h sigil to specify the content we want to render. Inside the h sigil, we use the templating language called HEEX, which stands for HTML and EEX. I guess EEX is Xdocs. EEX, embedded Elixir, is a library for embedding Elixir that ships as part of Elixir itself. So let's put that in here. We'll write down views. And this will go in location. This goes under lib web. We already did this, right? No, it's app name. Yeah, app name underscore web slash components slash app name HTML and defines index slash 1 can use which is HEEX HTML plus EEX. All right. That's kind of basic information there. Let's give it a try by defining a template in its own file. Didn't I already do this? What happened here? Can I run this now? Let's try running this. No, not Phoenix, new Phoenix server. Undefined function user 2. Where'd I do that? Hello HTML.ex. use. Hello controller.ex. Why is my Helix thing not working? HX health. Elixir LS not found in path? How is this possible? I don't have Elixir LS. Oh my god. I think that's what it's called. I have too many different. Hey Findus, how are you? Oh, I can't believe I don't look for 5 minutes. We are learning some Phoenix so that I can use live view for my Elixir talk next month. It's kind of funny not knowing live view. It's so weird. Like everyone I know who knows Elixir knows the website, you know? So it's just like I'm just like finally learning it, hopefully, because I want this like retro modem look for my my presentation. I want to embed, I want to put Phoenix Live View on Nerves Raspberry Pi Zero and connect that for the presentation. My prezo, my talk is going to be about like um how to get to use Elixir wherever in your projects. You know, a lot of times you're working or whatever and they're like, use this stack, you can't use this other thing. It's like I also want to practice what I preach, which is basically like you can be creative all the time. Like there's a talk, right? Oh my god. There's a talk, right? And like everyone expects you to use PowerPoint. So in the beginning, I think I'll have like slides in either PowerPoint or PDF or whatever. And then maybe I'll even fake like my laptop breaking and then I'll be like, no worries, I have my little nerves, you know, on a Pi Zero and I'll connect that like bare circuit and I'll have my Prezo in there. And then it'll boot up and I'll type in like maybe a Haze command that's an Elixir macro and like ATDT connect and then it'll like render my things as like slow, not slow text, but like a modem. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if this is even feasible. Wait, hold on, Findus. Well, okay, two things. I really want to learn Ash. Everyone's talking about Ash, so like definitely need to learn Ash. The sun is here. No, in Paris, the sun is not here. It's so great today. Um so yeah. And no what's the thing for the wicked? No rest for the wicked. We need to do this. All right. Um Yeah, I'm hoping that like maybe these things, like if I make these documents better, that they'll be more usable for other people. But at least I would use them. We'll see. I gotta clean this up badly, but I can do an editing pass off stream. How are you guys on vacation at all? Vacation this week. You have. Oh, that's what you're saying. Relax. You're relaxing. Oh, got it, got it. I have a hard time understanding sometimes. It's so nice to be on vacation. I dream of it. I'm mostly contracting for American companies, so like My partner gets like, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks of vacation. They force her to take like 3 weeks in a row. So it's like she can't even do a short vacation, right? They make her take big ones and she's kind of pissy about it. But I'm like, you know how happy I would be if my job was forcing me on vacation? I know. But the thing is, like, I did have a job here in France too, and I didn't like it. Like, I mean, I like some of the people there, but it was a startup making a game. So, game startup, I probably picked the wrong industry, right? But it was crazy. It was like, France is pretty big in like social protection, like employee protection, right? But they just did whatever they could to kind of like skirt that. They tried to make people work extra hours, vacation, no, nothing. I worked in a hospital in the US, and that was probably the best I've had it, where they were like, they were like, oh, it's July in France. Everything's closed in August. July is pretty working, at least until the end of July. It's just August. August is closed and for good reason. It's too hot. It's really too hot. Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing here? Template. Oh yeah, we're trying to run this thing, right? Okay, so I have no, in fact, I wasn't trying to run it. I was just trying to figure out why my HX wasn't. All right, so now we have. Do I need to restart? Maybe I need to restart. Controller, what was it called? Hello HTML maybe? No, this one. Sometimes it just takes a little while to get started. LSPs, like especially for Elixir, is super slow. So I'm assuming it's working now because Helix is saying it's working. It's probably running. Yeah, it looks like it's. Yeah, it's still running. Don't know why it's showing it all as errors though, but yeah, it's still. Uh oh. Uh oh. Looks like it died, right? Let's try running it one more time. Well, anyway, let's just keep working. Um, and now I wanted to see if I could run this thing, which was ix minus s mix phoenix server def mod in file hello controller. Def module. Now it's running, supposedly. And we've created a new route, right? Where was it? It was in our router file /hello. So let's try /hello. There we go. Hello. That sure is to the left. It's like not even rendering the H. So guys, first Phoenix page made. Unlock. And that was in this guy, right? Yeah, hello. We were doing this. We did this already. A template file works in the same way. Function components are great for smaller templates, and separate files are a good choice when you have lots of more. So wait a minute. So did I document hello HTML? I feel like we just needed to create a bunch of files. No, we didn't document hello HTML. So hello HTML looks like this. Example. So we needed to edit the route and make a view. Wait, no, we need to edit the route, make a controller. No, not make a controller. Yeah, make a controller. And make a view. I think that should be easier, right? Like, so really, maybe I want to make steps here. It just seems easier to do like steps, make a controller. Make a view. I swear, Mist likes to break all the time. And then it switches to a different. My notes, basics. So what's a route? Steps. Make a controller, make a view. And I think it was like edit router. And under router, we want to say edit router.ex. I want to highlight these lines. I forget how to do that. I have that under my other project. It's like code block. Here it is. It looks like this. I just want to emphasize line number. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Look at that. It highlights line number 5 so that I can say in line 5, we add the new route. Did you crash again already? Seriously? Oh, in line 5, we add the new route. So we edit the router, make a controller. The thing that's a little assuming, like, make a controller, assuming controller, that sounds a little weird, right? So maybe here we should say, um, get is the, what do we call it, a verb? Um, maps to the controller. Hello controller, and the action index 2. All right. Using the controller name and action from the router step, create the controller. Yeah, here we go. So now we do this. Ugh, it does such terrible highlighting when you don't use. I think I have to do code block. Why does it say TypeScript? I don't even know if this is Elixir. This is like Elixir conf, so I'm not sure. Code block unknown directive. Oops. Code block. Code block. Is File Scissor something broken? Why are you like being so difficult? Okay, there we go. Still looks ugly. Like, you see how, oh, because it has the wrong code. There we go. That was my broken code, I guess. All right. I feel like this is a little bit better for me to understand. Like, I'm thinking about my future self. Like, I'm going to try to like do this again. I'll be like, okay, here's the steps. You edit the router. I should say where this is, right? We already talked about it here though. So router.ex. What was it? Lib app name. It was here. Right? That's clear. Um Make a controller. Make a view. We don't need to say location anymore. Yeah, I don't understand why Mist is not picking up on these file changes. Usually it's automatic. So weird. Looks like I don't need this code block thing. Looks like it works just fine. Here, I just wanted it to be highlighted. All right, so what are we trying to do now? A template file works in the same way. Let's give it a try by defining a template in its own file. First, delete our def index assigns function from above and replace it with an embed templates. That's our view, right? Yeah. Oops, what I just change? Ay, ay, ay. Um, instead of using an action function, as in, how do you make a reference? I think it's like, make a view. I'm not sure. No. Ref. It looks the same. State MD. Calling LLM. Oh, maybe I need to add that. There we go. Instead of using action as instead of using an act as we did in make view, we can use a template. I think that's what it was. Heeks, right? Yeah. So we edit. Oops. what it was. Yeah. And then it will look like this. No, I'm looking at my old code. Def module, HTML, embed template. Oh, what does this do? Oh, it'll just like assign any matching name? Let's write that code first. Here we are telling Phoenix component to embed all Heeks templates found in the sibling hello HTML directory into our module as function definitions. So it's going to look for everything in here and turn them into functions. Next, we need to add files to the HTML directory, this one that we just made. Note the controller name, hello controller, the view name, all follow the same naming convention, are named after each other. They are all also co-located together in the same directory. Yeah, so there's no naming convention for hello underscore HTML. At least it's not like the code does it, it's just what we do. I don't really like how it kind of gets kind of deep in here. A template file has the following structure: name, format, templating language. In our case, let's create index HTML Heeks, da 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 da. All right, so let's do that. I will copy this first. Line nose, true. Emphasize lines. And this is line number 1, 2, 3, 4. Use the embed templates directive instead. It will make functions for all the templates in the designated directory. Okay. Code block. What did I do wrong this time? Code block. Is it hyphen? Yeah. Um, okay. It will make functions for all the templates in the designated directory. I don't really like how I said this. For all the templates in hello HTML. right? I think that's pretty clear. All right, so now we're going to make a template. So the file name has this structure. The file name's in the embed directory. Follow the following name. Follow the naming convention. Name.format.templating language. So our file name, our first file will therefore be, what are we going to call it? Index. Following this, our first file will be that. All right. So now let's make that file. So it's called section. I don't even know what section means in HTML. Is it like a div? So this goes under lib. No? What happened? Oh, crap. This goes under lib. Hello underscore web because it's a web thing. And it goes under controllers still, right? Aren't we still under controllers? Yeah, we're still under controllers. Controllers. Hello HTML. Ah, but I didn't create that yet. Damn it. Hello HTML slash index.html.heats. All right. All right, we did it. Now it'll see this, it'll compile it into an index function. Now that we have the root, it should be able to point to hello. Let's try it. Do you think it'll work? EX is Elixir. Okay, so it's running now. So now this should no longer say hello, but hello world. Yes. Not very exciting, right? Um, Here we can make our stuff kind of more exciting. More exciting. There we go. That's definitely more exciting. I actually don't think I need to stop the thing. But anyway. More exciting. There we go. See, it's way more exciting. Hi, Trina. How are you? I'm doing Elixir and Phoenix and hopefully live view at some point. But look, I'm making documentation for myself, like for when, um, for my future self for Phoenix, because this is like one of those things. Do you guys have this thing where like you learn something, it's like a language or whatever, you know how I'm like learning Erlang, and then I use something else. It's not so much that I stop using, it's just that I use something else, and that new thing just deletes everything that I learned from memory. So I just feel like I have to read all the documentation again. It's a little bit faster, but you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to do is create like these docs that are sort of like rapid refresh, right? Like it assumes my setup, like Nick's stuff, and just like faster to get going, I think. So I want to just, instead of making these just stuff that like aren't as, whoa, this is the wrong order. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. Directory structure. Okay. Good to hear you're doing well. So we made our first exciting web page with Phoenix. Now what? In case you've stopped your server, you can just run it again. Yeah, we know that. Layouts. Even though our in template file consists of a single section tag, the page we get is full HTML document. Our index template is actually rendered into a separate layout, lib hello web components layout root. Oh. All right, so let's see what that page looks like. It's called root.html.hex. Yeah. Oh wow, it's kind of has stuff. Some JavaScript stuff. And it has inner content, and that inner content is where our template goes. Maybe that's not important to me, so I'm going to not document that. As we built our first page, we could, oh no, now that that works, I should add this part to my documentation. Oh, I got to sneeze. This is not Elixir, this is really HTML, right? Was there anything else we had to do? That was it. Yep. All right. Layouts. From endpoints to views, as we built our first page, as we could start to understand how the request lifecycle is put together. Now let's take a more holistic look at it. I think this could be better English, no? Like now that we've built our first page, we're beginning to understand. Yeah, let's submit a PR. Shit. Where was it? From endpoint to views. From endpoint to views. Let's find out where that was. It's in a file called requestlifecycle.md. From endpoint views. I think I would say, having built our first page, we could start. That's just awkward English. Having built our first page, we're starting to understand. Having built our first page, we're beginning to understand how the life is put together. Now let's take a more holistic look at it. And that was before. What do you guys think? Like, does that sound like, as we build to our first page, like that sounds like we're going to do it again. We could start to understand how the request lifecycle is put together. I'll just keep this. Well, I should commit this, right? Minor. I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying it's bad. How do I, fuck, I should have made a fork. God damn it, everything I do takes forever. Where does it say fork? It's here. I hate GitHub. Pull request. Now I probably have to go here And then I can do fork. Oh, I already have a fork of Phoenix. How is that possible? What the hell? I'm tired of myself. All right, here's what we'll do then. We go in here. Let me just nuke this fork. I should copy that one file, right? It was request lifecycle.md. Let's put in my home directory for now. And then I will nuke this directory. Just easier. And then it sounds like I should be able to get clone. I probably have a clone of this somewhere. It would be under my here, right? Oh, no, 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 no. Aha. I wonder what I was doing with it. Um, yeah, so no differences here. And now I should be able to copy back. I can just move request lifecycle down into guides, request lifecycle. And now I'll have this. Why does it seem like I have changes? Is this not? It's synced. How did. I'm so confused. Was this on a branch? 181. I see. So they've already made changes in main. So let's go ahead and look at those changes. That. Well, we didn't have. We didn't have a conflict from endpoints. Yeah, this was our change. So let's just copy this one sentence. And then we can get checkout guides request lifecycle. And then we can do guides request lifecycle in here from endpoint. And then we put in having built. Right? Get diff. Now it's just this one thing. Having built our first page, we're beginning to. I think that's how I would say it. How do I not have stuff? What are you talking about? Oh, right. God damn it. I'm going crazy. I'm so pissed. Did I not do a pull? I feel like I'm doing everything wrong now, and it's making me so upset. All right, now I've pulled everything from my server, which should have the latest code changes. Now I'll bring up my this sentence into here. How about now? Work. Okay, great. Fuck, that took forever. This is the problem. I just suck at, like, doing simple things. All right, maybe they'll accept that, but let's finish this page before we make a PR. As we built our first page, we can all HTTP requests on our application endpoint. You can find it as a module named endpoint. Once you open up the endpoint file, you will see that, similar to the router, the endpoint has many calls to plug. Plug is a library and specification for stitching web applications together. It is an essential part of how Phoenix handles stuff. Plug defines a slice of request processing. Let's see. Endpoint / live plug static. So this is the slash. So how does this relate to router? Because here's slash, right? So router is routing all the static stuff, but endpoint I think happens before it. Serve this / static files from. I'm not quite sure I follow this part. You can find it in endpoint. You will see that, similar to router, the endpoint has many calls to plug. Plug is a library and specification for stitching web applications together. There's something about plugs here. For now, it suffices to say that each plug defines a slice of request processing. So I see. So maybe every request has these plugs. I see, and our router is at the very end here. Each of these plugs have a specific responsibility that we will learn later. The last plug is precisely the Hello Web Router module. So do we have that in our documentation that it starts with endpoint? Yeah. I don't know that I need to document this, right? Um, the last plug is hello router. This allows the endpoint to delegate all further request processing to the router. As we know, its main responsibility is to map verb path pairs to controllers. The controller then tells a view to render a template. At this moment, you may be thinking this can be a lot of steps to simply render a page. However, as our application grows in complexity, we will see that each layer serves a distinct purpose. Endpoint. The endpoint has the initial path, then router, then controller, then view. We have that. Another new page. Let's add, maybe I will document this last part here. Word about endpoint. I don't know. I don't feel like it should. I should tell. I feel like going backwards feels weird because I'll kind of know this already. So I'll just put it up here. Is that where it should go? Many plugs might process the request. Last plug is the router. Let's see how that looks. Does it look really ugly? Whoops. Yeah, it's really long. I'll just leave it. We'll just leave it at that. Handles incoming request. Many plugs might process the request. Last plug is the router. Fine. It's ugly. I don't care. Maybe we'll put the note in here. And this is in endpoint. There, I feel much better now. So we kind of just say it, but we don't really say we're going to do much there. Okay. Let's add one more route. We're almost done. We're going to add a show action now. So how do we do that? We're going to make a new function here called show that maps get messenger. This looks like it's going to be a parameter. I'm not sure how that works. Okay, so let's do it. So we're going to go into router, I think, because that looks like the router. And we're going to add a new get method for hello messenger. And that's our pair, right? This is our tuple, which is the HTTP verb and the path. And then we have to give it the other mapping, which is the controller and the action. So we're going to give it the same controller. And here's the action show. Okay, great. Notice we use messenger syntax in the path. Phoenix will take whatever value that appears in that position of the URL and convert it to a parameter. I see. So that's how our index, that's how our function show is going to get its parameters. So now we need to define the action, and the action is going to be in the hello controller here, right? Did I change this? I'm confused. Did I change this? Ah, we're at the controller. We're not. Ah, this is the component. This is the view component part. Okay. So we're not there yet. We are editing the controller. So we're going to make a new function called show because that was the name that we put over here, right? Show. And it gets past params. These params are real this time. And we're going to call render connection show messenger, except I don't have messenger because parameters is a map. So which means that parameters should have params.messenger, right? I'm just changing it up a little bit to make sure I understand. Okay, so within the body of show, we also pass a third parameter to the render function, a key value pair where messenger is the key and the messenger variable is passed as the value. If the body of the action needs access to the full map of parameters, we could just grab params also. This is what I did, right? I just grabbed param. It's good to remember that the keys of param map will always be strings and that the equal signs does not okay, yeah, that's just pattern matching. But wait a minute. So we made show. Ah, I see. We're going to make a template now. Okay, perfect. For the last piece of puzzle, we'll need to make a new template. Since this is for the show action, we'll go into controller hello HTML. I'm getting a little confused now. So we made a controller before. Then the view. The view takes the view turns the action. It needs to match the action. I see. I see, because this here matches that. It's not necessarily that this name matches this name. This could be a different name. So render here. So we're passing show here. So we need a template that has the show function also. All right, so this is going to create functions. We're going to need a template that matches the show name, not index. So we're going to call ours show.html.heeks, if I understand correctly. Right? Yeah, there we go. That's the right name. We're slowly getting it. I feel like I should make, well, no, whatever. Well, I don't know. When I get confused again, I'll make it better. So we're going to add a new file that's called lib hello web / controller / hello HTML / show.html.heeks. And in here, we make this layout thing. We copy this part. I kind of have been typing it thinking that it helps with just thinking. I don't know if it's true. I don't know what any of this Flash stuff is. Okay, so that looks correct. Let us now try running IEX on this, see if it works. Built it. And now my hello still should work. And my show, if I pass nothing, it should fail. Yeah. But if I do, uh-oh. Was it hello messenger? Oh, it was hello messenger. Whoops. Look at that. Messenger not found in Messenger Mario. Shouldn't this work? Oh, it's looking for... I'm writing bad elixir. Params. What was the original code here? Messenger. And that should be the same as params messenger, no? Oh, maybe this is like... map.get, and we pass there we go. Hello world from Mario. All right, well, that was stupid. But anyway, um we can read about that, but let me copy that into here. And this section is on passing parameter. You just edit. We just edited. We just did new route. And then we did a new action. And then we did new template. And in the route, we just added into the router. This should be familiar by now, so I can just do this. This defines we're still using the hello path, but now we capture the parameter, the next path element into messenger. We will send this over to the same controller, but with the show action. So then we define the new action, and that happened in controller, right? Define new action. Notice we get a map which was defined in the router. Render is calling show 1, which will be defined by the template. And then we have the template. And that was in here. Show.html.keys. Note the file name which tells which auto generates the show function. All right, I think I get it now. We can use the messenger parameter as at messenger. Okay, so maybe these should be like that. I'm reading this book called Writing to Learn, and that's kind of why I'm trying to write more. New route, new action, new template. Yeah, that works. Def show seems weird. What's going on here? Why are you not highlighting? Is this one of those things where if I made it a code block, it would work? Yeah, it kind of works better, but not much. Anyway, that's funny, but we'll live with it. Yeah, like I don't get it. Anyway, um, let's read the end of this. Function components, as in Layouts app, they are the essential building block for any kind of markup-based template rendering you'll perform in Phoenix. This particular component will abstract our app layout, such as menu and sidebar, and then render the contents inside. All right. Content interpolation, Flash. Oh, we didn't check this. Oh, we did check this, right? Yeah, from Mario. I see. So it made this stuff. Without the app layout, we wouldn't get that. Flash messages are used to display temporary messages to the user, such as success or error messages. Yay, we're done, guys. All right. Well, I think I'm going to stop here. What I'm going to do is just like commit what I have because it's kind of like, you know? Yeah. All right, we're done with that. Let's make a PR request for the other thing. I think I pushed it, right? So where'd it go? Here it is. Yeah, here it goes, awkward section. And then do I make a PR? What was it? It was like, this sentence to that sentence. Is that what I actually suggested though? Where was it? Here? Having built. Okay, as we built our first page, we could start to understand. Okay. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. We have our PR. Yay. Oh, they got a lot of open PRs. Yeah, that sounds better. All right. How long have we been at it? How are you guys doing? 2 hours for one section. You see, I'm slow to begin with, right? Like, even when I'm doing my streams and I'm just doing it. And then now I'm writing docs along with it. It's even slower. It's kind of really sad, right? Did you want the link to the docs just in case? I should put, where is it? This is it, right? Yeah. There it is in case anyone cares. I'll put it in the YouTube thing too. But that's where we made the docs. Oh, what else did I have to do? So I want to learn enough live view to do the thing I need to do, but we're just barely in the beginning. I feel like I'm a little worried. But I don't think, it shouldn't be that hard, right? I don't know that I need to do all this plug stuff. Where do we get into live view? Here's live view. So we need to know introductory and up and running. You need to know the request life cycle. We know all that. So I think we can just skip everything and just do live view, right? Yeah, I'm hoping. That'll be exciting. My YouTube short, what I talk about? What I say? YouTube, 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 autism. Ah, you know what's really funny is I posted that on TikTok too. Got 0 views on TikTok. Like, and I don't get 0 views on TikTok. I think I feel like they're censoring stuff that like I said something like in the title that was like why is the US going after autistic people? I just, I just feel like yeah, it's censorship. Um but yeah, it really sort of bothers me, especially not understanding what their point is. I think they're trying to scare people. They're trying to breed mistrust in like the medical system. They're trying to say like they're looking for people to call them conspiracy theorists and like then they're like, "Oh, you're going to listen to them or us," you know? And it's like, yeah. But anyway, I think I'm going to stop now. It's 4:15. Yeah, I'm going to do a little work. I don't feel like streaming my work. It's just boring stuff. Just remember the world out there is crazy. It totally is. It's crazy and I'm starting to like for the first time ever really, I'm starting to like feel a little weird about traveling to certain countries that I would have never thought twice about before. The UK, the US, like it's just getting unsafe, 10:14. It's like, wouldn't it be nice to be able to pop, like, whenever you need extra time, wouldn't it be nice to, like, if you had a super fast plane, you could just, like, go back in time? Not literally, but just time zone wise, and you'd feel like, I got more of my day back. But you couldn't really keep doing it. At some point, you run out of runway and you run into, like, the date timeline, right? You'd be, like, at Hawaii, and then all of a sudden you'd pass, and you'd be like, you've lost all your time. Wait, you love American football? I know nothing about sports. Like, I like, I do enjoy watching, like football, like, soccer football, a lot more than American football. Like, I don't get the American football stuff. It also, like, stops all the time. Yeah, exactly. I like Euro football a lot more. And the World Cup is a lot of fun. And, it's like country against country in a lot of them, or sometimes city against city. It's kind of fun. But I just don't watch sports in general. All right. Thanks, everyone. I hope you all have a great day. Um, and stay safe and warm wherever you are. I'll see you guys later. Bye.